So in ox, sternum is medially placed segmented bone forming the floor of the thorax. It is made up of 7 bony segments called as sternebrae connected by cartilages. So you can see here 7 bony segments. Okay. So this is the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. The individual segment, okay, they are called as the what? Sternebrae. Okay. Elongated antero-posteriorly, narrow in front, wider behind. In front, narrow, wider behind. Compressed laterally in front, okay. Flattened dorsoventrally behind. The sternum presents two surfaces. We'll discuss dorsal and ventral surface. So this is the dorsal surface, this is the ventral surface. Two borders you will find, two extremities you will find, anterior and posterior ends. First, dorsal surface. Okay. So narrow in front, okay, narrow in front, gradually wider behind. You can see. This surface gives attachment to the internal ligament or superior ligament in the midline, transverse thoracic muscle laterally, forms the floor of the thoracic cavity, marked by the transverse lines. You can see these are the transverse lines. Okay, fusion of the sternebrae. Ventral surface, extensive, strongly convex in front. Okay, concave behind the second sternebrae, gives attachment to the pectoral muscles, rectus abdominis muscle, marked by transverse line, fusion of sternebrae. Okay. Then lateral borders. You can see lateral borders, thick anteriorly, okay, gradually thinner posteriorly. Each side shows 7 or 8 articular facets. You can see these are the articular facets, okay, for the ventral end of the first 8 costal cartilages. First pair of facet on the dorsolateral aspect of the first sternebrae. Facet second to sixth pair between the sternebrae. Okay, between the sternebrae you will find the facets. Seventh and the eighth pairs costal cartilages joins togetherly between sixth and seventh sternebrae. Extremities, anterior extremity or cranial end. It is also called manubrium sterni or presternum or simply manubrium. It is formed by the first sternebra, articulates posteriorly with the second sternebra, and here they will form a diarthroidal joint, gives attachment to the sternocephalicus, sternothyrohyoideus muscle. So this is the posterior or caudal extremity, or you can say metasternum. So it is formed by the xiphoid cartilage, thin plate-like structure. You can see thin plate-like structure. Body or mesosternum, you can see a middle sternebrae between the manubrium and the xiphoid. So this is the xiphoid and here is the manubrium. Between them you will find the body or mesosternum. Horse sternum, composed of 7 sternebrae. Okay, it is boat-shaped, present 3 surfaces, 3 borders and 2 extremities. The first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh. So you will find 7 sternebrae. The shape is boat-shaped. So dorsal surface, you can see this is the dorsal surface, narrow and triangular. Lateral surface, okay, this whole surface is the actual lateral surface. At the upper part you will find your costal cavities, then borders. So you can find these two are the dorsolateral borders, means between the dorsal surface and the lateral surface. Okay, the border between the dorsal surface and the lateral surface. So the borders are there are 2 dorsolateral borders and the inferior border, or you can say the ventral border. So this is the inferior or ventral border. It forms the keel of the bone. Extremities. So this is the anterior extremities. Okay, as laterally compressed cariniform cartilage with a deep notch above for the articulation with the first costal cartilage. Then some special feature. First sternebra fused with the second. So this is actually first and second fused. Manubrium consists of cariniform cartilage, cranial cartilage extension and first sternebra. Pig sternum. Okay. So pig sternum composed of 6 segments. Okay, you can see first, second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. resembles ox sternum in general form. First segment, long bears blunt pointed cartilage at the anterior end. Posterior end forms diarthrodial joint with the body. Last segment you can see. So this is the last segment. Has long narrow part, bears the xiphoid cartilage at its end. Dog sternum. Composed of 8 sternebrae all fused. Each sternebrae slightly compressed laterally and constricted at the middle extremity. You can see anterior end. So this is the anterior end. Bears a small pre-sternal cartilage. Posterior end bears narrow xiphoid cartilage. Fowl sternum. Bony in adults, unlike mammals, formed by fusion of 5 pieces, each with a separate ossification center. Parts of the sternum. It consists of a body or cranial mass, rostrum or manubrium, metasternum and keel, lateral processes. So now you can see this is the body or cranial mass. Okay. Wide part forms main part of the sternum. Then you can see this is the rostrum or manubrium, anterior process or cranial projection of the body, has facets on the east side for coracoid articulation. Metasternum. So this is the metasternum. You can see posterior process, very long, larger than the body. Then next is very important. Okay, this part, it is called keel, crania, sternal crest, thin ventral plate from metasternum, broad in front and fades posteriorly, provides attachment to the pectoral muscles for flight. Then you can find the lateral processes you will find. Okay. So what you will find? You will find one pair of craniolateral process and one pair of you will find the cordolateral process. One pair of craniolateral process, one pair of cordolateral process. Okay. Each cordolateral process is one dorsal part and one ventral part. The dorsal part is dorsal cordolateral process and the ventral part is ventral cordolateral process.